Hi and welcome back to the channel. Something a little bit different today. We're still in Tampa. The weather has changed. It's the following day. It's now raining and we are flying what indeed is my favorite plane so far for prepared. Having some frame rate issues today, but other than that, I think that should probably clear up once we get out of Tampa. But yes, we are flying the Mighty Dash, as Marshall Arvid been saying. We're flying the Q400, the majestic Q400, an absolute masterpiece in flight sim. It's truly is it's a magnificent plane. It's so much fun to fly, so challenging. Just the fact that the flight model and all of the sort of behavior of the plane happens outside of the simulator, I think is probably part of the reason why this is so amazing. It's just really a great plane. It was kind of this plane that brought me back into flight sim again with the Airline to Sim's magnificent tutorial series, where a real Q400 captain goes through how to operate it in flying through the UK. Really amazing how well done that was, and it really made me want to learn how to operate the simulator in a brand new way. So yeah, so this was supposed to be a GA tour of the United States, right? I guess this is, like I said in the initial episode, it's not all going to be GA necessarily. However, most of it will be. And today I think it's one of those times where it really does make a lot of sense to do something else. I will show you what our planned route is. Our route today is going to take us from Flight Tempa's Tampa down towards Florida, and we're going to end up in the Latin VFR Key West scenery. Maybe I'll show you on SkyVector instead. Come on. SkyVector had some pretty interesting. It's supporting some pretty interesting weather. One of it is what we're seeing around us here. You know, the tops do flight level 450. Some pretty decent winds, etc. It's pretty decent weather, or it's not terrible, but pretty bad. And down when we get to here, it's we're pretty much talking about the same stuff. It's a lot of clouds and a lot of winds. Hopefully we'll be able to get in before it really gets too bad, but in any case it's going to be quite a bit of a challenge. We also have the charts loaded up here from Navigraph Charts, and yeah, it's going to be a pretty interesting flight. Since this is my first flight in the Q400 with you guys on board, I thought it'd be good to sort of go through the whole setup, how I do things, and what I do. And why I do what I do. Hopefully I won't forget too much. I've flown this quite a bit, so I do know more or less how to operate this guy. But I usually fly it with the FS2 crew, and today I will not obviously be flying it with FS2 crew. I just think I don't know how that works with really the streaming and the recording. Just a little too complicated for me to deal with right now. Anyway, so start by opening the engine intakes and turning on the wing inspection light so that the first officer can go around and inspect the light. I then turn on the fast zippo lights and the no smoking sign. Test all the lights. Then I proceed to turn on the power on the APU. Wait the little thing here. The fuel valve should be open. Then we do the fire test, make sure that the fuel valve closes, which it does. Test the fire warning on both engines on the aft baggage compartment and the forward baggage compartment. Smoke warning. I turn on landing altitude to 0, turn on the resarc fan, and turn the bleeds to min and on, and set the temperatures for the packs. Okay, let's turn on the logo light too. Yeah, turn off the nose wheel steering if that isn't already done. Then we can go ahead and test the ADCs. Stall warning test. Okay. That's that done. Turn on the anti-skid. Test the anti-skid. Works. I am definitely not as good at the first officer scene here, so I definitely may forget something when it comes to the first officer flows that I'm not that good at. See, my cameras aren't even set up with a proper first officer view. Okay. Let's start looking at our route. Let's start by copying that in. So we are at Tampa, Kilo Tango Papa Alpha. And we will, I'd like to start with, then do the departure. We are departing on runway 19 right, at least that's the plan, and we're doing the Gandhi for departure. And no transition. From Gandhi, let's see, I have my little flight plan here. From Gandhi, we are taking the V35 airway to Romeo Sierra Victor RSV. From Romeo Sierra Victor, we're taking the Juliet 4-1 airway, I think. Let's double check. I just typed it in, but let's double check. To Echo Yankee Whiskey West, and then we are going to Key West, and in Key West we are arriving runway 9, and we are doing the RNAV approach. I'm a little rusty on RNAV approaches. And they don't even have them in my in Navigraph charts. I really feel like Navigraph charts should have more charts. I know that they are focusing on the big airports, but still, for me, it's would be really cool. So I think we are gonna come in. So Echo Yankee Whiskey is down here, but I think what we'll do is we'll actually come in through the strap. It's 23 miles from Chet's. Let's just double check what we can do here. World High, Carnew. Jimmy. Here's Sting. Where is Strap? There is Strap. Okay, and we are pretty much coming in on Sting, so it will be through the Sting flight plan. So I think let's get rid of the that, and let's just have a walkthrough on the flight plan. Okay, so we are here in Tampa. We will go next to Candy, Murdo, CBR, Romeo Sierra Victor, and then we will go to Sting from Gigi. That looks perfect. And we'll pick up the RNAV approach for runway 09. Okay, so then let's put in our fuel. Today we have a almost fully loaded flight with 75 passengers. Not very many, not much cargo though. 25342 is our zero fuel weight. 25342. It's in kilograms. We have fuel on board. We have 2804. And we have we planned for alternate fuel of 82 to Kilo November Quebec Xerox or whatever. What is X? X-ray. We have budgeted for 817 for a hold. And we are even packing extra 910. Okay. That's the I need to set up my views a little bit better here. I'm struggling with the let's turn on the radios. You can set the trim. I like to start off by, well, it's a little bit different. Well, this time I'll start off a 7 right. Let's get the weather.
Kilo Tango Papa Alpha Airport information Golf 2048 Zulu weather wind 087 at 7 visibility 10 sky condition 3000 scattered moderate rain thunderstorms in the vicinity temperature 27 dew point 21 altimeter 2994 advice on initial contact you have information Golf Kilo Tango Papa Alpha Airport information Golf 2048 Zulu weather wind 087 at 7 visibility 10 sky condition 3000 scattered moderate rain thunderstorms in the vicinity temperature 27 dew point 21 altimeter 2994 advice on initial contact you.
Yeah, so you heard the guy start up and the flight attendant. I kind of don't like the built-in sounds, to be honest. The built-in flight attendant. So we'll set the MDA for 1040. That'll be our acceleration altitude. And let's program in the speeds. 131, 132, 142, 154. So 131, 132. So V1, 131. We're doing a flaps 5 departure today. VR 131. And since they're so heavy, the V2 speed is pretty much the same, so 132. We have a V-fry of 142, that's our flaps retract speed. And we have a climb speed of 154. Okay, Q. Yeah, we have an initial climb altitude of 6,000 feet. And we are probably, yeah, we're aiming for a cruise altitude of 17, no, flight level 170 today. Okay. We can do the other, we can crossfill the other flight computer here. Sometimes I find I have to crossfill it twice. I don't know if that's just me. Yeah, it's here, and is that the fuel? Yeah, fuel cell's loaded in. Okay, cool. So I think it's time for us to, let's get the APU started, and then we'll take it from there. We can close the engine intakes and turn off the wing inspection lights. We can put the beacon to red, so warn the ground crew that we're getting started here. I'll turn on the main bus tie. Okay, we'll turn on the APU bleed, and we will get rid of our GPU. Okay, we can turn off the external power, and I think it's time for us to close our doors. And we get the lovely fogging of the windows that I never quite understood how to get around. But let's go for prepare for pushback and departure. And let's talk to the ground and get a taxi.
Tampa ground, 89er, West November. Request taxi for takeoff, departure. 89er, taxi to and hold short on runway 1 left using taxiway Yankee Whiskey 1. Contact tower on 119er, 25 right, pushback. Taxi to and hold short runway 1 left using taxiway Yankee Whiskey 1. 89er.
So now they are actually giving us taxiway 1 left, and it's a very good thing I checked this. My gear pins were not stowed. It's typically something that the flight Tampa, no, that FST crew does for me, to stow those, and that is a major issue. When you don't do it, you can't retract your gear. Yeah, checking all the switches here. I do have service-based failures turned on. I do have service-based failures on, so I guess things could happen. Also, as we noticed, it gave us a runway 1 left. So. And we are still doing the Gandhi departure, and we can put that into our flight plan instead. Okay, we'll have to check the route once we get started, but let's get the Spartan starters, turn off the bleeds, and we'll select 2 and we'll start 2. Right. And once we got some N1 here, we'll add some fuel into the mixture. Let's see if GSX will manage to stop us at the right spot. Or if they will push us into the grass. Yeah, we'll stop here.
Parking brakes, please.
And the cellular phones may not be used during the entire flight. We wish you a pleasant stay on board.
Okay, we'll start engine number 1, even though the guy's still making up things here, and we'll add some fuel to this party.
Unlocking gear. Nose wheel steering connected. Tints removed. Tow vehicle disconnected.
Ladies and gentlemen, may we have your attention to the international safety regulations. This aircraft has
Okay.
emergency exits.
Alright, just have stabilized, so let's increase the prop RPM.
They are marked with the exit sign. Illuminate the escape path markers on the
Let's turn on the window heat so its fogging won't stop. We will turn on the pitot heats.
Clear behind the aircraft, left and right.
Main bus tie can come off, a generator can come off, APU can come off, and the bleeds can come on. I like to turn them on a max while we're still on the ground. Precision light can come on, and notes for the steering can come on. Turn on our APU pumps and our tank pumps, and the auto feather, we can arm that too. Then we will test number 3 elevator, hydraulic pump. Yeah. And that's tested. Okay. Took both our guys to a nav here. Yeah, so this is why we want to check the flight plan. So, as it sits, there's as you can see, there's a disconnect between Gandhi and Pears, which is this guy. Gandhi, Pears, Murdo. Gandhi, Pears, Pears. Yeah, it's the same. Okay. Q. That is our flight plan done. So let's check out the charts here. We are at the F84, I think. Yeah. So we want to go just basically, we want to go back, down, and down whiskey to 01 left, which is where we're taking off. That is easy enough. Okay. Taxi light can come on. Parking brake can come off, and yeah. Flaps 5. One thing I really love about the Majestic Q400 is that they are that they have the tiller mapped to the joystick, which is really nice. That you actually have a separate tiller control from the rudders when you're on the ground. I really really helps. For those of you who've seen me mess around in the A Skylane, you see that I have some issues taxiing these days because my rudders aren't bolted to the ground, they're just sort of floating on the ground. That is a bit of a problem. But no such problem with the Q400. Okay, so now that we are going down, let's set the nav source to FMS1 and FMS2, and we'll put on LNAV. I think since I don't have my co-pilot with me, I'll even set the IIS as my VNAV here. And I'll map it to 185. Set that as my climb speed. Okay, I'm just trying not to go crazy down the taxiway here. So I have some frame rate issues in this airport, but look at that scene out there, guys. It's the sun coming up from the east. That's where we came yesterday. Over Tampa. Very cool. Okay, our windows are cleared up too. That's really, really nice. Okay, so let's figure out what we're gonna do here. I think on this side we will set the weather radar. We can turn that on at this point, and we'll do. It's actually kind of no use doing terrain down here in Florida. There is no terrain, but I'll do it anyway, so we can sort of it makes it a little easier to follow along on the map and see how far you gotten. Yeah, 80 miles is probably a pretty decent range on that. We'll set the Alright, the Whiskey 1. Okay, so the heading bud 07. Flaps can cut them in, and let's tune Tampa Tower and ask for our taxi.
Tampa Tower 89er ready at runway 1 left south departure. 89er prepared to take off runway 1 left. 1085 at 6 south departure through. Fly runway heading to 500 maintenance. Proceed on course. Cleared for takeoff runway 1 left. Maintain runway heading to 500 and proceed on course. 89er.
Takeoff warning test tested. Now the weather radar is on for reals. Trims are set. Gust lock is off. Flight tax and count of flight. I did not know why that is beeping. Oh. I left the taxi. Takeoff warning set. Tested off. Okay. Runway is 01 left, heading is 007. We have some terrible weather up ahead, but that's okay, we'll manage. Okay. Just before we go, quick check of the engine. Stabilized, and we are going to take off. Toga. This is some frame rate issues that we're having right now. I can't say I've had issues like this in this plane. for a long time. I think it's must be this airport. There's V1 and rotate.
89er, you are leaving light airspace. Frequency change approved.
Is positive rate. Bring the gear up. And we'll get our turn here. V5, we can bring the flaps up. I'm hand flying the departure. Let's try and turn inside this weather here. Even though my flight director is telling me to take the turn a bit slower, I think I just want to try and get away. From this weather. Okay. It's looking pretty good. I think we'll engage the autopilot and let's set our flight all the way up to 17,000. Let's pretend that air traffic control is clearing us up to flight level 170. We have some ice detected. Am I not surprised? We'll turn on the de-icing boots. Okay, I think we can go props 900 below line. Whoa, that was the autopilot really just threw me off there. That was kind of funny. Turn on the auto. Whoa, seriously? This is some weather. The autopilot is throwing me off because of the weather. Look at this. Look at this. Oi, oi, oi. This is the worst weather I've experienced in this plane. Oh my good lord. My lord, my lord. Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay, so hand flying it is, I guess. Look at this. Look at this. Jesus Christ. Whoa. Okay. That is something, I guess, if you're looking at the weather radar, it does seem like we should get through this in a second. I'm not messing around here. This is the... I'm putting on the yoke so you can see what I'm doing and what it's doing. What the weather is doing to me. This weather is nasty, you guys. And we're at 10,000 feet and we're being tossed around as if we were like a little... I don't know. I guess the main thing here is to just maintain speed, right? Okay, I think hopefully we should get out of this now. Active Sky 16 is incredible. Like, I have never experienced this before in the simulator, and I really do believe this is all to do with Active Sky 16. Whoa. Okay, we did it. So we're past 10,000 feet too, so let's take off our lights. Lights can come off. We still have ice going on, and we can bring the bleeds up to norm now that we had some time to think. Oh man. This is, I mean, what a great looking plane this is too. I love how it looks in flight. It looks insane. That's the weather we came through. That is some serious business right there. Oh my goodness. That is some serious business. You see the window is all frozen over on the side. We have the ice on the tip of the fronts and everywhere. This weather is no joke. Look at the wings go. Let's see how long the autopilot will. I'm going, and yeah, I had a feeling that happened. The autopilot kicked us off again because apparently it's not a good day for flying. I realize now one major issue I'm having is that my trim is remapped to the same keys that I'm using. I haven't flown this since I set up EasyDock for flying, and the keys I use for trimming the Q400 are now mapped to my EasyDock. It's a bit of a problem. Wait, typically I forgot to set alt cell. That is a bit of a problem, and we now flew through where we were going. And that was faster than expected. So reset the baro to standard. 29902. We will select 15, flaps 15. We're doing a flaps 15 landing today. Okay, let's see what the weather looks like. Where we're going. We knew the weather was going to be bad here. The question is, how bad is it going to be where we're going? Looks a lot better. Looks like the worst of the weather is here. I think one thing we could do is actually try and clear ourselves direct to Marcy. I don't know, will that help? We still have to go through this weather ahead of us. It looks as if we're gonna go over it from just looking out the window. Looks like the trouble is basically behind us, not ahead of us. Let's take a screenshot of that. But you know, that does worry me, that anvil, the anvil guy there. So that's Tampa Bay. That's the bay around Tampa. I don't know if it's called Tampa Bay, but I'm calling it Tampa Bay. And here is OpenLC from flight 170. That's the highest we've been so far on the tour. Looks great. Looks really, really good. If you ask me, this looks amazing. Really, really, really good job, Orbix. You nailed it. Okay. So we are at Chets. We want to be at 3000. So let's set up a renav for Chets. 10. And we want to be at 3000 at Chets. It's a 140 miles until our top descent, so it's after Marcy. That's cool. While I have it, I'll also set up our landing speed. So we're doing, we have an approach speed of 130. That seems high. And a go around speed of 120. It's according to my Aura sim. So I'm lining up this little guy here with the rudder trim. You need to use rudder trim on this aircraft. It's one of the few aircrafts I know that you need to use rudder trim on in prepared. It's kind of cool. I like that. I like that little challenge. I still have ice. Still have ice going on outside. Flaps are up, gear up. I mean, we skipped through our checklist and everything. This was really something. Leads going max. Now that our props are at 850. And I think we can even turn on the no seatbelt sign so that people can actually use the bathroom.
Ladies and gentlemen, for your own safety, we instruct you to keep your seatbelt fastened during the entire flight.
Yeah, it might be smart if you look at what's coming up ahead, guys. Yeah. I think we're gonna go straight through that guy. I don't know how smart that is, but I also don't know exactly how much of a choice we have. Anyways, let's see. Why don't we do the heading bug here and if any sort of real Dash 8 pilots or airline pilots actually watch this, I'd really be curious to know what you would do in a situation like this. I mean, obviously this plane does not have the service ceiling to climb above it. Maybe you'd go around it here. It really does seem like the reasonable thing to do, and then so get vectored around. Let's pretend that we're gonna get vectored around this airspace. We're gonna go in here and then out again. Okay, let's do that. Let's pretend that we're being vectored here. So they're giving us a vector of 175, and we're gonna comply because it means that our passengers can go to the bathroom and drink their drinks and not complain to the management. Still having some firmware issues. Better. Lovely details here on the dash, where the windows will literally ice over if you don't have anti-ice on it, which you don't have on the first officer's side window. Yeah, there's some turbulence again. We will turn on the seatbelt lights. See if this will get us. wonder if we'll get through this or if we'll be kicked off autopilot again. So once we'll get through here, we'll go direct to Romeo Sierra Whiskey. Yeah, see. Now we're overspeeding, so let's just take the throttles down a little bit. I mean, we're not really overspeeding, but I guess it's just a wind speed. It's only 7 knots. Look at the rudder trim, it's way out of whack. I guess that's because I reduced the throttle though.
Southwest 1586, turn right heading 175. Turn right heading 175, southwest 1586.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if that's the right vector to give us, but let's try that. Let's aim like we're going straight for Romeo Sierra Victor. Which hopefully that is here, not through there. It's cool, you can see the beaches of Florida below us. Very, very neat. I think Florida is definitely more of an airline destination than it is a GA destination. It's like cooler to look at. Look at those insane weather patterns that we're dealing with. Look at that. We're at flight level 170 and that's just like towering above us. It's not a friendly cloud. It's just purple. Weather radar is screaming at us to get out of the way. Okay. Well, good news is after this it should be smoother sailing. Yeah, see, there we go. So let's go back to now. We'll do direct to 11 to sort of restart our flight plan here, and we'll switch the thing back to now. Sweet. Our VNAV is still connected. Our VNAV plan, that is. Could turn on the standby radio, I guess. Oh, look at that. That's pretty cool, man. I have no idea where we are, but that was beautiful. I thought I'd want to take a screenshot of that. I love the Q400 sound package too. It's really, really good. There is a Facebook group called like Q400 Sounds and Liveries that I have yet to check out. It seems kind of interesting. It's they made some new cockpit textures and some new sounds for the whole thing. That didn't work. I was gonna turn around from the other side, but it didn't let me. I guess I don't have 360 camera set up in easy dock. That's what I mean. Like easy dock is seriously, it's just no good. I am so ready for something else to come along. It's so like you don't understand what's going on, and I don't understand why it is the way it is. It's just so not user friendly. Now the moment's passed. Those reflections of the water of the river are gone, and yeah, it's not much point doing it anymore. But I don't know. We're having a nice flight, right? It's nice for us to see something. I guess we can turn the safe seatbelt signs off again. And I'm sort of waiting for the ice to clear. But we still have ice detected here. Ah, see there we talk about the devil. There went. Did you guys see that? Like this little spigot is basically meant to collect ice. So when the spigot is clear, then you know that you have no ice on your airframe. And there's even a little light. No, not this one. Where is this little light? Where's the little light? There should be a little light that you can turn on for, especially for that spigot. And now I can't find it. So there's that. Yeah, I don't know. There should be a light for it. At least I feel like I remember there should be a light for it. It could be that I'm misremembering things as has happened before, but could also be that I'm not, I guess. So here we are, we're coming down the west side of Florida, the Gulf side. See, this is that light. This is the light that shines down on it, so I don't know. I just don't know which switch that is, I guess, but there is a switch for it. And this is a fun plane to fly, it really is. I fly a lot in Norway as well, and like you can see some videos from Norway on my channel. It's just not. It's not only this. It's also Norway, and in Norway I fly the Q400 a lot because the Q400 goes a lot of places in Norway where other planes just can't go, and that's pretty cool. It's a great plane. Kind of like a go anywhere, do anything plane. And that's fun to have in a simulator. So we're getting ready to leave the mainland here, it seems. Did I? No, the top defense is here. Let's just like update our flight plan here. Okay. So you are still FMS 2 and we're FMS 1. Altitude is 7,000, flight level 170. Let us go ahead and tune the weather at our destination.
Kilo Kilo Echo Yankee Whiskey Airport information Juliet 2053 Zulu weather wind calm visibility 10 sky condition few clouds at 1900 temperature 282.24 altimeter 29995 advise on initial contact you have information Juliet Kilo Echo Yankee Whiskey Airport information.
Not bad, calm winds, that is especially good. And 10 miles visibility, that's pretty good. No, few clouds at 10,000 feet. So this is going to be a lot easier than our departure. Thank goodness. So that was something else. It's kind of funny. I recorded this video just like 3 or 4 hours after I recorded the previous video where we flew into Tampa. And man, does the weather change this time of year down there. I guess it is kind of the end of hurricane season, so that is what we're seeing. I think I would recommend anyone who's like, if you have any interest of flying in Florida, this seems to be a really fun time of year to try it. Basically, really fun time of year to try it. I'm annoyed that I totally forgot to start the chrono. Typical. Anyways, let's take a look at the approach charts. We'll get ourselves set up for something other than failure. So basically we're coming in at 3,000 feet at Sting, and then we're gonna get to 1,500 feet around Chet's or Atna. Our runway heading is 093, and our airport elevation is 3 feet, so I set that to 0. That's pretty good. Our go around for the LNAV VNAV here would be 425. So we can set that. Decision height we get to 0. And what else do we have going on? We have a go around altitude of 3,000. And it will take us back to Burpee. It's track 077. And then we will probably come around back to Sting or go around, I don't know, somewhere. A whole lot more of information about it. Let's see, so we have Key West Tower, what else do we have? Ground control. I know there's a VOR here, isn't there? Yeah, Key West. Should so be on the chart. 113.5, it wasn't, right? Nope, 113.5, and we'll put it in anyway, 113.5, and we'll also put in the fishhook NDB. Okay, so 113.5. From that, put it in here too. And our NDP was at 332. Just the way the radios operate and everything too in the Majestic here is really good. Like, just I don't know, just so simple. Like, okay, so there's one for the hundreds and the small one for the tens and the singles, and it just really works to just have it like that. You maybe have to scroll a little further, but it's just user friendly. You don't have to sort of figure out how the dials work all the time, which is very nice, very nice. Good job, Majestic. Look at that water, you guys. Oh my lord, this looks so good. Look at that. That looks so good. Oh my goodness, that looks great. I'm definitely not regretting flying down here. I was a little sick of Florida, but this I am not sick of. This is awesome. Look at that view. That looks great. Actually, I had planned on maybe doing from Key West back up again to do a flight in the F-14 since the Navy does train down here. So I might set up a carrier and take off from outside of Key West and fly up to Pensacola or something for our last Florida trip, just to finish off the state in style, and then continue on into the south with some Pipers and other stuff. Wow, that's really cool, really beautiful. I love to see the little guys inside the plane working. That's very cool. Oh, I really love this plane. Okay, so let's set our altitude to 1500 feet, and we'll soon be arming the VNAV. Okay, so let's review. We have our approach speed set. We have our minimum MDA set, minimum descent altitude set. We have our prop set to 850. We have our approach programmed. We have our flaps GPWS landing flap switch set. We are no longer experiencing icing, so the anti-ice can come off. That is nice. Makes it a little easier on approach. I say just as it comes back, that is ridiculous. No ice on the spigot. Yeah, -10, -7 outside. Okay, I guess it comes back on. I have a feeling it will come back off before we touch down, but who knows? Look at that. Oh, it's great. I really think I don't know, something with the water looks better than it's done. I wonder if OpenLC also had some sort of water classing. I mean, I don't like this zigzaggy staircase pattern, but it's pretty good. I'm a little tired, it's quite late. I always seem to fly too late, especially when I'm recording these streams. I need to do it after other people have gone to bed. Okay, so we have our glide path, our VNAV path indicator coming up here, so we'll arm the VNAV. And what the VNAV does is it will guide us down at a target speed of 1800 feet to reach 3000 feet at Chet's. And if we go faster, it will guide us down a little faster, and if we go slower, it will guide us down a little slower, so it sort of adjusts for our speed. But we have to manually sort of control the throttle and the Q400, which is just kind of fun. It's not just sort of, you can't just sit and let the airplane do everything. You have to do some of it yourself. I like that. Let's put the seatbelts back on. and yeah. Did you see that? It got into heading mode. And the VNAV fell out. What happened? Okay. Once it captures the glide slope, you need to reduce the throttles. So I'm taking them back to about 30%. I found that that's the good speed. And once you reduce the throttles, we have to do what I did earlier here, and we have to, whoa. And reset the trim. Only 1 or 2 right trim is enough when you're descending. And at the end, I actually, when on approach, I quite like to I quite like to have the trim all the way off, and I'll just use the rudder pedals manually. This will be a fun challenge. It's a fairly short runway. It is only 4,800 feet. Should we program this guy too? We could. 4,801 feet at... See, it's giving me a little sort of blinky blink at an elevation of 3 feet. And this is the HUD. For those of you who haven't used the HUD, if you don't, or maybe you have the Pro Edition, or not the Training Edition, or the Cadet. It's confusing for me now. But basically, it will paint the runway on the HUD if you need to, if the visibility gets low. What happened there? What's going on? If the HUD brightness is not to 100%, it will go down? That must be a bug. Doesn't matter. Anyway, so you see these little meatballs, what you want to follow with your little bird when you do this. And here we can see our V speeds are getting a little high, so our V speed is getting a little high. We're also getting close on 10,000 feet, so we can try and drop it down a little bit. Yeah, I saw the ice went away, but I saw all these clouds, and I thought to myself that we'll probably get some icing again, and we did. Let's see if we can reach Key West Tower.
Key West Tower, 8-9er, is 2-9er miles north of Key West 12,200 with Echo to land.
8-9er, Key West Tower, flight left base, runway 9er, altimeter 2-9er, 9er north.
Take left base, runway 9er, 8-9er.
I think we'll set the runway, the barrow now, 29994 is what they said. And here we are, we're coming up on 10,000 feet. We'll go below, get the speed below 250. And we... Pretty good. Perfect. Then on the flare lights, and I think at this point we will turn off the anti-ice. We're getting 16 degrees Celsius outside, which is plenty above freezing. Should not get any more ice, so that's Key West over there somewhere. And I think we can activate the XTK. Let's see. Man. Let's put it to heading select. See, this is what I said. That's what I meant about not being that proficient with the RNAV approach. Jets. Wonder if we can just go straight to jets. See, this is what I'm unsure about. When to arm the approach. Okay, LNAV approach set, and VNAV is pretty much not captured, but we can arm it, and we'll try and capture the vertical profile again. Let's see. .640, we're capturing it, or 620. See, this is our vertical deviation, 560, 540. So we're capturing the glide path. Okay, cool. And LNAV approach is armed. Or is it VNAV path is captured? Sweet. I think this is LNAV approach being active or armed. Man, who knows? I just don't know everything in this plane. Okay, let's review. We have prop 58. Let's put on our pumps. Let's do the things that we can do. And we can arm the auto feather. The rudder trim is set to 0, which is great. Slowing down a little bit too much now. We're at 219. Big stutter. I get some of those big stutters. I don't know why I get them. Whoa. Well, I can tell you what, that's not a good thing. That is something very weird. What is this? Yeah. I think it's vertical is a total crash. What on earth was that? Sometimes prepared is just, sometimes this is just flight simming is the worst. Like, what was that? Oh, it's so uncalled for. Man. I'll save it, I'll save it. I mean, not using Sim Starter now because I just want to get it running as soon as possible. Sim Starter's pretty great for that, but okay, so it did save something 5 minutes ago. That's good. That means there's some hope. Man, I'm sorry about this, guys. This is boring, and I just don't have the patience to, honestly, to edit my videos. I actually do video editing for sometimes for work, but I told myself that yeah, I'd like to publish something here, but I don't want to sort of get into a situation where I have to work for doing this. I'm doing this strictly for fun. So my videos are pretty much sort of like raw. Maybe I'll add a skip point here so you can skip past this waiting. I don't know, my prepare takes forever to start. I don't know if that's the case with you guys too, but it really does take forever to start. There we go. Let's load up that last flight. So thank you FSUIPZ for saving me, literally, once again. Happens more than once. I haven't had a lot of crashes though lately, I must say. It's just so annoying when it happens. It's just the worst. Yeah, anyways, so when we get to Key West, part of me wants to go over to Nassau, but I think not. I think what we'll do is we'll go off Key West and we'll set up maybe we'll do a Cessna flight from Key West out into the ocean somewhere where I'll put an aircraft carrier, and then we will take off the aircraft carrier with an F-14, the Airsoft F-14, and we'll fly all the way up to Pensacola. That could be fun. It's quite a long flight, but it should be possible for it to do it. Okay, so here we are. So we are here right before I armed the approach.
Please observe that this flight is a non-smoking flight.
So I think in this case I will not arm the approach again. So at least it gives me a chance to correct my mistakes. Okay. I think what happened last time is I armed the approach before it, before that previous waypoint, and I think this is actually the first waypoint, because what was it called again? This waypoint, it was called something Sting. Yeah, Sting. I think Sting is the first waypoint. That's the transition point of the approach. So if I'm right about that, then it should be possible to arm the RNAV approach from here. Let's see. It's not. XTK2 great. Okay, I'll try it again. So we're learning, that's not what it is. I'll have to... No. Aye, that was silly. Not sting. Not sting. We are going straight to 15 chats.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's me, 719 cruiser.
And now we're below the glide slope.
Is there anything else you want to
Ay, ay, ay. It's a bit of a mess. But, once again, the LNAV approach seems to be started. And the VNAV is now armed. We kind of missed it, but we have 1998, 99, 2000 feet. We're a lot below it. Okay, but it's direct, it's okay, so the reason why we're below it because it lost the VNAV to Chet, so now it's just taking us straight to ATNAV, which just needs to be 1500, so it knows that it has the time to do that. So this is where we had our massive stutter and big failure before. If we have it again, then I know that there's something wrong with the scenery. What I was going to say is I think this might be the Dry Tortugas, the big reef system outside Key West. This definitely is the airport over there. This is Key West. And see, we're catching the V-speed here. It's good, it's working for us. Once we pass Chets, I think we'll... Okay, are we having our same issue again? Big stutter. Lots of micro stutters. But no massive fantastical crash. Look at the Dry Tortugas though, that's beautiful. I guess that's part of the scenery from Latin VFR. I don't think that's Orbex. Actually never come in through this way before. It's really, really pretty. It's something. Okay, so let's review. Okay, our bleeds are on. Our... Oh yeah. All of our radio settings are set. Yeah, we can put the pumps on. Auto feather can come on.
2500.
And I think we'll start bleeding off some more of the speed. And yes, our lights are on. Stuttering is making me nervous now. Kind of feel like we're gonna have that anomaly again. Look at this though, beautiful with the channel, the photo reel under the water. This is great. Fantastic job, you guys. Okay, 200 knots, and we are...
Just started our approach. We would kindly ask you to fasten your seatbelts again and turn off all your electronic equipment.
Look at that. Look at this. Looks fantastic. Fantastic. Okay, 170 knots. That's great. We can bring out flaps 5. Bring the heading wig around. And here is our approach. It seems activated. Let's see if it captures the glide slope. It seems to have captured the LNAV part of it. So the glide slope there is still white, meaning it's not been captured. Okay, let the cabin crew know that we're about to land. That's Key West for you. The cruise ship's going outside. Oh, man. Sometimes I'm just in awe. I'm in awe at what they've done with this. It's just so good. I think it is at Husby here that we are at 1500 feet. We should theoretically at least intercept the glide slope. Let's wait and see. And there's the glide slope. But are we going down? Yes we are. Yes we are. Yes we are. Okay, so at this point we'll set the go around altitude. Shush that 3000. And we'll bring out down the gear. Gear down through green.
1,000.
And we'll do our 15 flaps 10. Flaps 15. Landing line checklist. Okay. Props 1800, leans min on. And we have the pumps are on, pumps are on, trims are set, etc. And we have got our speed. Okay, I have control. Minimum descent altitude, and we are go for landing. This looks good. We are right on track here. So the trick with the Q400 is not to flare too much, not to mess too much with it. This is a fairly short runway, so let's try and bring it down close to numbers.
50, 40, 30, 20,
10. Yeah, not bad. Not bad at all. That's pretty good. I'll take that any day. Sweet. And let's put some brake into this. I wasn't braking much. There we go.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our final destination.
Okay.
Please remain seated with the seatbelt securely fastened until the aircraft has reached its parking position and the seatbelt sign has switched off. Please continue to observe the non-smoking sign.
Pitos can come off so we don't burn anybody.
Say goodbye to you now. It was a pleasure having you as our guest.
Push flare light can come off, and beacon can go to red.
Contact ground on 121 121 8 Niner.
Just wanted to turn off the weather radar so we don't fry our ground crew. And let's start start debut. Gate 1. American Airlines are helping us today. So there is Gate 1. That's close. I guess that is you there, right? I am assuming. Let's see, I made him dance 2 or 3 times before. I don't think I'll be able to do it now. It is really, really difficult. I can bring it up. Okay, let's see if we got it. Maybe we got it. Maybe we got it this time. Okay, 30-second timer, and we can turn the generator. And APU bleed on, main bus high on. Text like, come on, sorry dude. Position that logo lock on. Passenger seatbelt lights can go on. And there we are for 30 seconds. Let's see. Give us a dance, dude. You parked a bit askew. Well, thank you very much, huh? Did not think that's very fair of you to say. It's impossible to park up to GSX's standards. They really are very high standards. Okay, nose wheel steering column come off. $12 landing 12:36. Oh, wow. Okay, so that's all messed up in this flight because we loaded it differently, I guess. But you know, sometimes that happens. Sometimes in flight sim things crash. See, this is what I was talking about. I'll show you right now. I have to go to EasyDock Studio, I have to go to General Settings, and I have to enable Float and Float for the cameras to make the flip and flam cameras move around like I wanted them to move. Even though you all saw that earlier, right before the sim crashed, those things were all selected. Why doesn't it save it? Why? I don't get it. Anyways, apart from that very strange crash, this was really fun. I really do love flying the Q400. I think it is an amazing plane in the simulator. I don't think there's anything that's taught me more than this plane has in Prepared. It is what made me want to do things differently, and it's what sort of continues making me want to do things differently. It's just really just a great plane. So much fun to fly. I love that flight model. I love how it feels to land it and to have a come in approach. It's just I don't know, really cool. Not a whole lot of things feel like this thing does. But anyway, what a really interesting flight. Just to like summarize what a ridiculous weather on takeoff. I've never been thrown out of autopilot from weather before, but I guess today was just a first for everything, and today was definitely a first for that. I'm also really impressed with the scenery that Latin VFR put in for, especially the water masking. Really beautiful. It makes a big difference down here. It is a very sort of watery place. Obviously, it's if you ever visit Key West, which you really should if you have a chance. It's such a cool place. I mean, you drive over nothing but water to get here. So really cool that they put so much effort into the actual water part of the scenery. Once again, boats from Henrik Nielsen are ridiculously cool and make all the difference. They really do make all the difference. So over here is this naval base that I think, well, I may speak too soon, but that I'm thinking about leaving from in my next video. But we'll see. We'll check that out when we get to it. But for now, I guess that's it from American Airlines and their doomed flight. This is my recording software, OBS, that I'm used to record with. You'll get used to seeing this at the beginning and end of my videos because, like I said, I just can't be... It takes to cut off like 2 seconds in the beginning and 4 seconds in the end. It literally takes me 5 hours of rendering time or something like this to do it. So, you know what? Not worth it. But, so that's it. Thanks for now. And if you like what you see, please subscribe. If you have any comments or likes, click the thumbs up button, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.